Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Coaching.
Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment any thoughts and comments and anything like that in the comment section you have on the questions in the comment section below.
And make sure you contact us in the description box below.
I'm Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me is fucking Nj. Well, we fired ourselves up with this Q&A, haven't we? Straight away, bloody hell. So like we said, another Q&A. I'm out of breath. Keep sending us your comments, your questions in, via YouTube inbox, facebook.com/BritishFist, twitter.com/BritishFist with British Fist Q&A hashtag, and also don't forget you can comment down below your questions too. And make sure you contact us in the description box below. Firing yourself up again. So keep sending us in your questions. Also, we now know that Terminator Nj will be here for a Q&A on Q&A 72, which is in 2 weeks' time. So he's going to be there for the Q&A, so keep sending his questions in, because remember, if he doesn't get good questions, guys, and stuff like that, then he's don't know what he's going to do to Bray Wyatt. And I just want to get my friend back, guys. And also, because of that, next week we're going to be doing an hour-long Q&A, so we can get as many questions done to that point as we can, and we really do look forward to that hour Q&A.
Even though you've seen us do our first live stream, which went for hours and hours and hours, but with this one, the fact it's going to be a Q&A based on what you've asked us. Yes, some of your questions might not be asked because we're just going through what we have in front of us, but keep the questions coming, and who knows, we may do this again.
Possibly so. So next week is going to be an hour-long Q&A for you guys, and Q&A 72 in 2 weeks. That's going to be a bad one. Terminator Nj is going to be there. Hopefully, he will give Bray Wyatt back to me at some point, but we really don't know what's going to happen with that one. So we'll get to this Q&A now. Q&A number 70. Start off with Gatekeeper 176. If either of you decided to become a wrestler, what would your gimmick be?
It's been a popular question because we have been asked this before, but with me, as much as I love the Triple H thing, and I'm pretty sure I could try and work my way up to be like Triple H, I'd probably be either the heel like Triple H and just learn from him, or just the face one that many people would love.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, many people love you anyway, so the babyface thing could work for you. I mean, with me, I'd like to use my business acumen as maybe a heel gimmick or something like what JBL did. Would be an interesting way. I mean, I do have a lot of knowledge with business, so I could use that in my character, I guess. Be like the businessman or something. I don't know. The Wall Street guy, and the banker everyone hates. I don't know. Montel Smith. If you were to book Wade Barrett's run to the World Heavyweight Championship, how would you build him up to be a worthy holder? Well,
Royal Rumble.
You need to give him a Royal Rumble win, don't you? And then a big win at WrestleMania. That would be how you do it. You'd put him in a feud with someone until that point, until WrestleMania. Maybe 1 or 2 feuds where he comes out on top. Maybe have him beat a guy like a Randy Orton, for example. But you've got to make him win the Rumble and have him go and win the title at WrestleMania.
It's not happened for a few years, but maybe put him as the first one in, or the second one, or just near the beginning, then actually manage to go all the way through and go on to WrestleMania and face someone, not Sheamus, please. Just maybe, because I don't
love to see that feud though.
Not until WrestleMania, that's too long, but I think someone big at WrestleMania who's someone at the top of their game and just beat him and then bam.
Or you could put him against the streak. You don't need to have him win, but you could get legitimacy instantly by going up against the streak.
Well, it's a shame, but I'd like to see, as it's for the world title, you have to take us to champ.
Well, no, I mean, what I'd say is book him in a feud with Undertaker, and then after that, have him win the world championship. I definitely wouldn't want him to win Money in the Bank. I'll say that.
No.
The Black Rose 1991. We've had a question from him in a while. How are you doing, buddy? Go subscribe to the Black Rose 1991 now. He's back doing some videos. Recently, one of his videos got featured on ODQ.com, so well done there. First question is this one. You're going to go even more mental for this one. Why is Nj such a sexy beast? Yeah, why is he such a sexy beast?
I'll tell you how I did it.
Go on.
I copied Cody Rhodes' dashing.
Don't make fun. Don't make fun of Cody Rhodes, you bastard.
I learned from Balbina. No.
You can make fun of Balbina, so I don't really care about that.
No, but I don't know.
Or
thank you very much for your support.
Or Rick Rude. Nice. You could always just go from Rick Rude. He was always a sexy beast. Had Bret Hart not retired in 2000, would he have come back to the WWE in 2001 when WCW went under? And how would the WWE title scene have been different? Would Bret still be wrestling today, if not only a limited schedule? It's mainly related to Bret Hart. So if he hadn't retired in 2000 and he came back in 2001, well, he wouldn't have come back as part of the Invasion angle because they wouldn't have been able to afford his contract. But he would have been a useful asset in WWE at the time. I mean, for putting guys over, I think.
Bret Hart's had a huge career, and I think if he did what he did and came back and all this stuff, I think he would definitely be someone that could be a great person to work against, especially the technical people.
Like,
great matches, yes. Daniel Bryan even. There'll be so many great things going, and I think that would be a great direction.
And even though it would have been on a limited schedule, it still would have been some kind of, put him against guys like Angle. It would have been just great to put guys over going into the next generation. I'll just say that. If Triple H had retired from his quad injury in 2011, how would the wrestling business be different today? Who would have stepped up to carry the company from 2002 to 2005? You still had Rock at the time. You still had Brock Lesnar. You still had plenty of star power. Kurt Angle, Undertaker. You still have plenty of star power, so it wouldn't have affected it that much, in my opinion. Although Triple H was the big guy in Evolution, which was essentially a faction which launched off Batista and Orton. So it would have affected the company in some capacity.
I think without Triple H, Rock's career would have gone. He would have probably won the title more. He probably would have gone in a different direction, and then obviously had probably more stuff going on with Austin. So I think Rock would have benefited more without Triple H there.
Really? Well, even though he was leaving anyway.
Sorry?
Even though he was leaving
eventually,
anyway.
I think Rock could have done a bit more in his time, but other than him, again, I think just how dare you talk about Triple H retiring, you jackass.
He might be going to he's going to be the fucking leader of the company soon. You're not going to be happy with that, are you? Oh dear. Triple H Mark #1's biggest mark-out moment will be when Triple H finally takes over the WWE from Vince McMahon. Howard the Man. If you could choose, if you choose a different rating for WWE besides TV PG, what would it be? Or I guess TV 14.
CBBC.
That would be TVG. I mean, yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying here. With regards to the TV PG era, we wouldn't want to like stop appealing it to kids, but we would also want to get a lot of it to appeal to adults. So make it TV 14, I guess, because your adult is your main demographic, and that would work more.
I think even if it went to the hardcore stuff again, I think people would still like it because kids, they wouldn't want to see blood, but to see weapon usage, they might pick up from it. But they'd enjoy seeing the hardcore matches. They'd enjoy the high flying like Jeff Hardy's. They'd enjoy it. So to be honest, bringing them back, it's not going to damage kids' enjoyment. Not at all.
But to be honest, let's face it, it's mostly down to the writers. So we can't really say it unless the writers would improve, but they'll have less limitations. So who really knows? Anything Goes show WWE. Oh, they managed to get in 2 Q&As in a row, and NJ's not going to go mental this time, being an Anything Goes show WWE fanboy. Which WWE superstar, past or present, has the best hairdo of all time? Who has the best hairdo, NJ?
Austin.
Austin, what? No hair?
No, don't diss him. Austin.
Okay, so the bald-headed look was the worst haircut. What was the word? There must have been a really crappy haircut at some point. I don't really know. What about
the best, not the worst, best.
The best hairdo.
So
Austin,
right.
The best. The best hairdo. I don't really know. I don't really pay much attention to wrestlers' hair. Rikishi always had a good one. What about like the mohawk look with like Brodus Clay and stuff like that?
The Tensai.
Oh fuck Tens. I don't really know. It's a hard question. I mean,
here's a question for you, especially any Show or the rest of the people watching this. Who would you say has got the best hairstyle? Because obviously we're not hairstylists. We just have our hair as it is. But who would you say? Look how
like ordinary our haircuts are. Clearly we don't care about hair. Sweet Latte 18. If The Rock would have joined WCW, how do you think he would have been pushed or treated?
WCW, Rock.
He would have been pushed as a star, but unfortunately, at the time, WCW would have been going out of business anyway because they had massive money issues. They were spending too much and not getting enough revenue from it.
The Rock became the WCW champion. He'd done enough for WCW.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, exactly. He did in the Invasion angle, but he would never have gone to WCW. If he did, he would have been pushed, but he wouldn't have really worked anyway because the WCW was going out of business. Why do you think Austin and Rock never were tag team champions? Because they were both main eventers. So.
They were close. There's times when you think, obviously, when they're both top faces, they could have done like they did with Triple H and Austin, even though it was different. But they could have became Rock and Austin could have became tag team temporarily.
Yeah.
But I think the reason they didn't do it is because I think they had their own feuds going here and there, and they just didn't really want to have time when they paired up, even though it could have been a great tag team.
What's your worst Raw / SmackDown moments?
Oh my gosh, I thought this.
Raw, yeah, I don't really know. What's the... Because you don't really think...
John Cena get fired, but he didn't actually get fired. He appeared on the Raw's following it. That was just awful. What the hell was that? What are they doing?
What about, like, Mae Young giving birth to a hand?
Big Dick Johnson.
Dick.
Fucking, what the hell was that?
I can't really think. It's one of those things where, like, you can think of the best, but you don't generally think of the worst because you try and forget about that stuff.
even though they were heartwarming, but the time, like Edge when he did that.
Yeah,
that was a sad moment. Even though it was great, it was still sad that someone as big as Edge did. But.
True. What is the worst costume in WWE history? Red
Gold
Rooster.
does when he was silver. I just thought that was stupid.
Really?
But, yeah.
What about Rey Mysterio's like Captain America outfit and shit like that?
Mr. America.
Oh,
I don't really agree with
what
that.
About what about Mr. America or like Juan? Remember Juan Cena when they were doing that at house shows?
The non-conquistadors. The gold outfits.
Ese amigos, los conquistadores. Yeah, there were many in the early 90s, really. You know, there were loads in the early 90s.
Doink the Clown. What the hell?
Fuck Doink the Clown. But there were loads in the early 90s when WWE were really gimmicky. So go back then if you want to see terrible, terrible costumes. Wildcat8329. What would make the WWE Divas division relevant again?
Karma, Beth Phoenix not leaving, China,
actual writing to the feud.
Yeah, I was saying 3 Divas. Oh, Lita coming back.
Actual writing for the feud. You can have all the superstars you want, but if they're not being written for, then...
Well, Lita could be written by just like that, you know.
Oh, yeah, very easily. But the writing, good writing would make the Divas division relevant again, otherwise it will never be relevant. Since WWE is not making any new main eventers, who should be the face of the company when Cena retires? You think CM Punk?
Or Barrett?
I say...
Not as a face, but as a top guy.
I would say as a face, it would probably have to be either Ryback or Sheamus at this point, because they're the two people who I think will probably be up there when Cena retires. But we don't really know, because Cena might not retire for a long time.
I've not actually seen Ryback against main eventers yet, so at the minute it might not work. As much as Vince wants to push it, it might not work. But
so I guess the real answer is we don't really know. Who can replace Cena? I mean, Cena's been put on such a big pedestal, and there's no new stars.
They're trying for Punk for the last few years, but obviously...
Now he's heel.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. The reason why he turned heel is because he knew he was gonna. There was more chance of him being a top heel than the top babyface because he was never going to get past John Cena, which says a lot about the WWE hierarchy, in my opinion. AJ Warrior, Velvet Sky, and Angelina Love left TNA. Will they go to WWE or not? What do you think? Well, Velvet Sky is a good fit for WWE Divas, in my opinion. If you look at what they're doing, but do I think they will? No.
TNA are good at taking WWE wrestlers, so why can't WWE just say, right, I'm taking your 2 okay knockouts from Raw and bring them to our not so good Divas division? But they could do, but I still don't think they're going to enjoy themselves. They get more money, but not have a great time there.
I don't think Vince McMahon will ever like the fact that he's going to bring in a TNA knockout and in his Divas division. He just wouldn't do it because of his ego, in my opinion.
Bring back Tara though, but she's not there, so there we go.
I'm not an ROH fan or watch it. I don't blame you, really. It sucks. But how would you feel if ROH had an invasion on the WWE?
They haven't got good enough wrestlers.
No, I mean, it would be ridiculous because they don't have a good enough roster and they're just an indie federation. If an indie federation took over WWE, how shit would that make WWE look?
The only one that's actually going to dominate is Steen. Everyone else is just going to probably have one quick match, that'll be it. I
mean, you'll have Steen lead it, but that's it. Who else the fuck would be like any threat, really? I mean, really, from a booking standpoint. Exactly. JJ3628 asked us a couple of questions. When do you think Rock will leave WWE again for good and only show up on special occasions? After WrestleMania 29, probably.
I really don't think, because he's done 2 years. Yes, he may not have put that many people over, not a list of them, but I think Rock's done his part once again, and he's about to probably put one big more match at WrestleMania. I don't think a third one should be happening.
No, I think probably after WrestleMania 29 will be when he leaves for good and only appears on special shows. I mean, I like having The Rock around, but if he's not going to be there 24/7, then no, what's the point? What, in your opinion, are the best free WWE DVD documentaries? Well, we haven't really watched or really that many DVD documentaries, but there are some out there really that are pretty good that I know of.
Documentaries, I think when they were speaking about the Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels story, Eddie Guerrero,
and the history of WrestleMania is definitely a good documentary.
Yeah, they're the three that
they're the three that stand out for me. If you guys have any other opinions on that, or any you can suggest to us, as we haven't really got any, put them in the comment section below for us, please. What do you think are the best free pay-per-views from the PG era, Mania 24 onwards?
Mania, again, it's most Mania, I think. So
Money in the Bank 2011 will be up there.
That stands out. Well, what do you think of people? I'm just trying to read your mind
have there been any like real standout pay-per-views in the PG era that you can remember, that you can say, look, I definitely remember that pay-per-view because it was awesome?
Well, we're on 24 and we're on to 28 now, so there's many years, many pay-per-views, but ones that stand out. They probably are, but we're just not thinking of them.
Money in the Bank 2011 is the only real one that I can think of that is a big standout. Had like a standout special moment. We don't really have that. We haven't really had that for quite a long time yet. Really?
Sadly not, but like I'd say not the greatest. 25.
What about like SummerSlam in 2008 and 9? I thought those are two pretty good pay-per-views, but not really standout, but good pay-per-views.
Pretty much.
Who do you think will pass Flair's 16 world title reign? Probably Cena. Triple H can't do it now, so it'll be Cena. What are your favourite 5 Undertaker feuds? Shawn Michaels.
Triple H.
Triple H.
Edge.
Edge was a good
Batista.
one. Batista. And a 5th one. Could we think of a 5th one?
Well, I think we did when we were just saying them.
Yeah.
But I think the 5th one, we got Shawn Michaels, Triple H.
Kane.
Yeah, Kane, there we are.
Kane would be that, especially the WrestleMania 14 feud. That was excellent. And the last question of this Q&A, who do you think Cena's best rivals were? I think Rock, Edge, and Batista. I think Cena's best rivals.
Edge
was one.
I definitely agree with you there. And the other one recently is Punk. They know WWE know this era that them two can go and put on great matches.
Not Orton. He wasn't one of those big rivals. Batista, simply because he was the second baby face in the company and second best guy in the company to him. Shawn Michaels is another one of them.
So all I can say is thanks for the Cena questions.
Yeah, but yeah. So if you guys think you have any good Cena feuds, comment section below. And no more Cena questions for NJ. Cody Rhodes questions for me. Bring in more Cody Rhodes questions, people. So as we say, so remember, there's the last question. So next week is going to be an hour-long Q&A. That should be pretty fun to do, if draining. But like we say, keep subscribing up above, liking and commenting your thoughts and giving us your questions in the comment section below. I do not look forward to being next to Terminator NJ again. I did not want to go through that again. And he's going to be sitting here, where you're sitting, and it's going to freak me out again.
The time's ticking away, and what I'm going to be doing is finding Bray Wyatt.
And a £10,000 reward would be with you if you could find him. Honestly, £10,000 I'm offering. If you could find Bray Wyatt for me, £10,000 would be yours.
And from Dashing Mr. Parkin and Dashing NJ, till next time, YouTubers, thank you very much, and get ready for our next week video.
Ooh, wow.
Goodbye.